viewers, and you're watching the interview program on Uzreport TV. From November 21st to 23rd, tourism was in the spotlight of discussions in the capital because it hosted the Tashkent International Tourism Fair. This year, it even brought more countries and companies, attracted them to participate in this huge tourism event. So what are the dynamics of tourism in Uzbekistan? Are there challenges or obstacles that need to be addressed, or is it improving even more? To answer all these questions, we are now here with the UN Tourism Executive Director to discuss all these aspects of tourism. Good evening, Miss. Thank you for joining us and dedicating your time for this interview. And so you have arrived in the capital to attend the Tashkent International Tourism Forum. How would you evaluate this event and the platform overall for Uzbekistan's tourism?
Thank you for having me. I stepped in the fair and I thought I was in ITB or Berlin or WTM, totally international. I think a huge initiative for the region and a great vision to host so many companies and destinations of the region to be their exhibitors. Very interesting highlights as well.
What would you highlight from this event?
I think what I love very much is the feel of culture that you could see all through the stands, which I think is very attractive. It's quite unusual as well. And the strong positioning of the culture.
Is it your first time visiting Uzbekistan?
It is my second time. First time I came to Samarkand.
How did you like the Samarkand city?
Very much. How can you not like Samarkand?
Everything for tourists starts from the airport. So once you have arrived in Tashkent and you step down from the airplane, how do you feel yourself as a tourist? Are there enough services afforded for the tourists, in your opinion?
I spend my life in planes and airports. Airports are my cities. So I have been traveling since 15 days in different countries. I feel as good as anywhere else. I was in Japan, I was in Italy, I was in Azerbaijan, and now I am here in Uzbekistan. I think it's perfect.
How would you evaluate the services here in Uzbekistan in terms of tourism? Are there maybe challenges that should be addressed?
I think that the first asset you have is people are very kind, and you don't feel people are working. People are actually hosting you. So anywhere you go, be it in a restaurant, in a cafe, in a hotel, everywhere, people are very kind and I can say, hospitable.
What kind of dynamics have you noticed in the sector of tourism here?
I have to say that, as the World Tourism Organization, our mandate is as well to monitor how tourism is evolving.
Yes.
And one of the most remarkable message I have to convey, and this is quite remarkable, is that we have a barometer, so on market intelligence, and the last results for this year in September are showing that Uzbekistan is welcoming 6.6 million tourists, which is 98% recovery from 2019 for the same period. But what is remarkable is that you have an increase in receipts of 133% plus. And as well, I want as well to underline, there is something you must be doing good because it's a #1 increase in all Europe and the second in the world. So there is something that the authorities, I think under the leadership of the President, Mirziyoyev, and the Minister, Abdul Kamikov, I think that the strategy and the vision for the sector is very strong. It's not only the vision, it's the implementation, because the results are speaking for themselves.
I see. You have met with the Minister. What have you discussed in regards maybe to cooperation with you and WTO?
Now, we have current initiatives, some big initiatives that are going to unfold. We have a thematic office on the Silk Road in Samarkand, which is going to start operations very soon. And we have the Tourism Academy as well for training young people and young talent. But one of the highlights I can say of my visit here, and as you know, I'm coming from the COP29, the climate talks in Baku, and we are heading to Brazil, to COP30, is the uniqueness of the structure of the government here, which the minister is leading the environment and climate agenda, and on the same time having tourism under his portfolio. So we are discussing for Uzbekistan to be the co-lead with the World Tourism Organization under huge initiative of the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, called One Planet. One Planet is allowing the sector to move in the transition towards greener and more sustainable operations. And I think that the country is very committed, the minister in particular, and I think you have the means. So leading the way and helping all countries in the world to follow the path and to develop actions related to climate and actions related to circularity. And circularity relates to plastic, to food, and to inclusiveness, short value chain in the supplies like such food and other activities of that kind.
Yeah, you have just mentioned the COP29, and actually the Uzbek pavilion has presented its climatic issues
Yes.
on the pavilion, Aerial Sea to be more specific, and it really attracts tourists around the world. So do you think the ecotourism is developed enough in Uzbekistan, and is it an attractive destination for tourists?
Yeah, you know, ecotourism has many definitions. If you go in the United States, and Costa Rica was one of the leaders in the beginning to launch the name, you would see ecotourism as related to the environment. But ecotourism relates as well to people and to culture. So basically ecotourism is really authentic experiences, which is the biggest trend today in the world. People are looking, travelers are looking for sustainability and authenticity and localhood. That's the new word. So I think this is clear. I think as well what is interesting is that while the country has currently signed very big agreements with the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank for the green transition, I think the tourism SMEs, small and medium enterprises, have the place, and this is what we are discussing with the minister, to actually make all the sector benefit of the transition.
How about the inclusive tourism, also one that is paid attention to in the recent years?
Inclusiveness is definitely one big objective of the country and the minister, because community-based tourism is becoming much more attractive. And this is to do very much with the period we all have experienced during COVID, where we were not allowed to go out, where we were only able to go in very nearby places. And by going by nearby places, we have discovered the beauty of really the local authenticity experience. So now more and more people are looking for this kind of vacation. And what is interesting, they are not staying 1-2 days, they are staying for longer periods. So I think that this is on the one side, on the inclusiveness. On the other side, the inclusiveness is as well related to accessibility and as well trickling down the benefits of tourism to local communities, and that is a very important drive as well.
Talking about the global tourism, what are the current trends and the challenges, maybe issues that should be addressed in this regard?
The global trends, as I just was telling you in the last barometer, you know, we have a network of about 400 experts all over the world, public and private sector, which we consult for the qualitative part. And in the qualitative part, one of the main obstacles is the economic instability of the world. The other challenge is the lack of personnel, the lack of people that want to work in the sector. And that is something that we need to think of. We have to make the sector more attractive for youth and for career perspective. That's very important. And on the other hand, the sustainability is a big issue that everybody is talking about, because we are all conscious that, for example, severe weather events are affecting people at all levels. And people are more and more conscious that they need to do something, and I think it's everybody's role.
Do you think this kind of platforms in events serve as an effective platform with effective outcomes?
Yes, it is. You know, it all depends on every country, every destination. It is. We are not a regulator. We are there to advise. We are there to show the way. And we are there to build together, because it's co-creation. I very much believe in partnerships, and I think that co-creation is very important to advance that agenda.
Thank you so much for your time once again. It was
Pleasure.
a productive conversation.
Very pleasure.